The Antiquities, Superstitions, and Customs of Cornwall, a country rich in legends. The great work accomplished by zealous Irish missionaries, evidence of extreme antiquity. I give honors to all whom are studying and wishing to know thyself, the higher self and the lower self. Because if you know your lower self, you'll know how to defeat it and how to starve it out so that you can live in higher self. That's what these studies are about. We're going to show all that we care the most about ourselves, of studying and knowing thyself, putting in the hours so everybody knows that we not only study, but we live this. We yearn and thirst for the knowledge of knowing thyself. Now let's begin. A land of legends. The legends of Cornwall are so strange, varied, and many that an attempt to give the reader the faintest idea of their general character cannot be made. So along down this line of Cornish mystery, important come boundless troops of mysteries. Volumes might be filled with them. Here are a few. Nobody will cross two stiles, a lane in Crowan Parish, at night for fear of meeting the devil. A child passed through the body of a live ash sapling, split near the trunk and held open for that purpose, will recover from disease. Bullock calves are still burned in the remote Cornish farming districts to drive evil spirits from the herds. If you will walk around the old abandoned sepulchre in Crown churchyard 9 times exactly at midnight, you may meet and make any sort of terms desired with the evil one. There are a score of holy wells still remaining in Cornwall, whose waters possess almost miraculous power. St. Cuthbert's well is sought for the cure of rickets in children, who are bathed in it for the first 3 Wednesdays in May. No child ever christened in Rudreth well has been hanged, but the well of St. Cain is secretly sought by many of the Cornish folk for its extraordinary power of giving to either husband or wife whose first drinks of its water permanent marital mastery. Hence the old lines, if the husband of this gifted well shall drink before his wife, a happy man thenceforth is he, for he shall be master for life. But if the wife shall drink of it first, God help the husband then. Taking off the hat to a magpie wards away bad luck. No miner will permit whistling in a mine, so it offends the knockers, while fishermen would throw a man overboard who would whistle at sea after nightfall. Killing the first butterfly of the season brings good luck. If the limbs of a corpse remains flexible, another member of the deceased family will shortly die. The whistling is also in Moorish customs. Don't even hear a whistle. It's bad luck for even the one that hears it. Among the people of such antiquity, isolation, meager and sharply defined pursuits, there cannot but be found 2 striking characteristics. One is their extraordinary loyalty to each other, and the other, an obstinate clinging to old and prized customs. The monument to the great Camden in Westminster Abbey will not stand so long as his own famous couplet, written 3 centuries since, by Trelos Poland, Sierra and Penn. You may know the most of Cornish men. He might have also have added places for 9/10 of the names of Cornish places, as well as of individuals and families contained or still contain these roots and prefixes. Tre, answering to the Saxon tun, means an enclosure. Ross, a heath. Po, a pool. Sierra, a defended place. And Pen, a head. All this filtering through antiquity and people's folklore in time became something of shibboleth, shortened finally to Tre, Po, and Pen, further intensified and treasured by the Cornish national toast of Tres, Pos, and Pens, one and all. Then to still further intensify the feeling of national indivisibility, along in the reign of James II, came the famous ballad of Tre Lawney, one electrifying quatrain of which will be roared forth in fireside, social, and political song as long as a Cornish miner with a voice is left above grass to do it. The origin of the song was the incarceration and prosecution for seditious libel of the Archbishop of Canterbury and 6 other bishops in 1688 because they refused the reading of a royal declaration of indulgence for liberty of conscience. The good bishop Trelawney, he was a Cornishman besides, instantly all Cornwall rang with, and will they scorn Tre, Pole, and Pen, and shall Trelawney die, there's 20,000 underground will know the reason why. And this shout of the wild 20,000 miners of Cornwall had more to do than all else with the acquittal and victorious return of Trelawney and his peers. Old-time customs, with such loyalty to each other, never failing of expression at home, and if possible more admirable and faithful in the sturdy and prized groups that they may be round thousand of miles from their loved homes, in the copper mines of the Superior region, in the silver mines of Colorado, or in the stifling pits of Australia, it is not surprising that such a people cling tenacity to the strangest of oldest customs. In some districts, a pail of cider containing roasted apples is taken into the orchard and drank to the good health of the apple trees, which are thus wassailed. On nearly all farms, notice is given that harvest is ended by crying the neck. A small sheaf of the best heads of wheat is gathered by some old man, who as he raises it aloft 3 times, is greeted by the reapers with great cheers and jollity. A comfortable apple market is sustained on Allen Day before Hallows Eve at St. Ives from the sale of apples, for apple pies to be hidden under pillows by lads and maidens on Halloween night, Furry Day, or Floor's Day, has for centuries been observed in the old town by musical frivolities, gathering of flower and fruit blossoms, and dancing in and out of houses throughout the entire day and evening, in which festivities old and young, rich and poor alike radiantly join. Vagrum fair, a vagrant fair, is a sort of wild midnight hula-bulu of boys and men with clubs, bells, and whistles, in which traveling wild beast show, passing from one town to another during Whitsun week, are received and escorted from one hamlet to another, and clubs are carefully preserved as trophies of a sort of defensive and protective ideas of most ancient origin. May Day, as though other portions of England, is watched for all night and ushered in with all manner of shrill musical instruments. At St. Ives on Shrove Tuesday, possessions of boys demands and secure pancakes and halfpennies at all houses where they may apply, while at Penzance, and indeed at nearly all villages of West Cornwall, on the eves of the festivals of St. John and St. Peter, the ceremony of lighting fires and carrying torches through the streets has for centuries been observed, and is unquestionably a remnant of the pagan Irish Lanal Biltins, or the day of Baal fire, which this locks in directly with the Moors, the Moorish Americans, as far as the Canaanites and Baal. Metaphysical meaning of Baal: master, possessor, owner, guardian, a husband. Jupiter, sun. The study of Baal was directed to Jovis, Jupiter, or the sun, as the guardian and giver of good fortune, prosperity, and abundance. Baal means Lord. It was the besetting sin of the ancient Hebrews to apply this title to things formed instead of the formless. This tendency is still prevalent, and not merely among the Hebrews. All concepts of God as less than universal mind are Baal. Those who believe in a personal God are Baal worshippers, because they make an image of that which is without body, parts, or passions. They should learn to go back of the realm of things, that they may come in touch with God, who is spirit, mind, cause, omnipotence. Baal worship was a form of nature worship, but it wasn't worship. They would study the astrology and the stars, because each month, the date you're born, a specific planet affects an organ within your body. So each month you're supposed to unfold and take care of an organ in your body because it is going through chaos. A curious cure. A black cat's tail passed over a child's sore eyes 9 times will effect a cure. The croak of a raven over the house bodes death. Children born in May are May shets and will never have luck. A perjurer will never again see the color of sunlight. A millprive or adderstone will prove an antidote to the poison of that reptile. After midnight on Christmas Eve, all the oxen of Cornwall may be found on their knees in the attitude of adoration. If one touches a logan or rocking stone 9 times at midnight, he instantly becomes a witch. In the fishing hamlets, if a fish be eaten from head to tail, all the fish will be driven from the coast. and you are no true Cornishman if you will not assert that the shipwrecked dead hail or call aloud their names above the roaring of the storms along the coast. The entire disappearance of the Cornish language has occurred since the reign of Elizabeth. The centennial of the last sermon preached in Celtic, the white-rooted church of St. Wadnik, was celebrated in 1878. Even at the beginning of this century, divers old folks could be found who were constantly moaning, Kernewick, Ual, ne sia verdien pobel, Junk. Cornish is all forgot with the young people. Consequently, the Cornish dialect is still rich in expression, wholly without meaning to one unwilling to patiently observe, delve, and study. Indeed, delve and study. Cornish fairies may safely be summarized as the small people, the brownies, the spriggans, the bukas, or knockers, and the pixies, piskies, and pigsies, as the latter are variously termed. The first are the souls of the Cornish folk of thousands of years ago, condemned to haunt the earth until they are one by one transitioned into ants, when they will disappear. They are not unfriendly, are shy and demure, and have been known to perform many kindly offices. The brownies are dear, delightful household elves, happy in all good and sorrowing over all evil. The schoolmaster is said to be inimical to these gentle Cornish spirits, and they are fast disappearing. The spriggan is held to be the fairy representative of the olden giant. He is rude and sometimes vicious. He haunts the old stone monuments, and if Cornish peasants are to be believed, it is dangerous ground about these haunts when the spriggans return for the periodical debauches, when tons of rocks are still bowed through the air over the beetling crags and across the dreamy moors. The pixie is a joker and mischief maker of the worst sort. He delights in all sorts of mad pranks, but to his credit be it said, like that little green joker of Irish fairy mythology, the leprechaun, his mischief is chiefly extended upon mortals noted for their neighborhood meanness, avarice, and greed. The knockers have their haunts exclusively in the mines. Various theories are advanced as to their origin. They are souls of Phoenicians, like I told you, the Moors, with invisible picks and mallets still sounding or knocking for the best pitches or loads, but woe to the miner who offends them. Now, as far as a Baal again, when you go look at him, you see he has a fez on his head. And we all tie back to the Austrian culture. We was in the mines digging salt for the Moors, and they fed us cherries, and all of the grounds on the outside, they dug it up and found golden circle 7 wheels, and they found even the fez and the cherry within the salt mines because they was so preserved. We have to do with work with the Moors. It's a historical fact. The Moors brought us out of darkness into marvelous light with the 7 liberal arts and much more. Go look at the short that I have up, The Great Library of the Holy Ghost, which held the Moorish manuscripts. So honors to the Moors. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration of the Antiquities, Superstitions, and Customs of Cornwall.